Hey everyone. Hey Scorpio. Welcome to this space. The weather is warming up so beautifully today, and I thought maybe I would just give you guys give some of you a reading outside. Um if the weather is warming up where you are, I pray that it is warming up your soul and your hearts as well as your bodies. And these messages are regarding your existence. Why are you here? Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising signs. Check your moon and rising signs for a deeper resonance. Okay. Why do you exist? What are your purposes? What shoes you feel multiple shoes, right, Scorpio? But there's some type of grander there's some type of a much more grand experience, a bigger reason that includes all of the other things that you accomplish in this life that serve a purpose in your soul's journey. And there's a reason why you're down here. There's a reason why all of us are down here, right? And we're going to go ahead and tap into that, okay, Scorpio? So I see having a purpose as an umbrella term for the reasons why certain things happen to us constantly, why certain loops and patterns exist in our lives, um, why certain relationships occur in our lives, why we attract certain things. I see a purpose as a table. It's just a table. Tables have has a main purpose to be set on, right? You set things on it, but those things that you're setting on the table don't necessarily have to be like the same. It doesn't have to be food. It can be plants. It can be artwork. It can be stones. It can be decoration. It can be a lot of things. Tables are used for multiple things, not just for dining, right? So that's kind of how I see like a purpose in a way. Like, it's not just cut and dry, right, Scorpio? So let's go ahead and see Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising signs, why you exist, why you're here. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising signs for their purpose here on this planet, their existence. Why do they exist? Who are they as a soul? There are those of you, Scorpio, you have to learn patience. You are not meant to rush things in this life. You're not meant to rush things as a soul. You are a very patient being. There are those of you, you guys can wait and wait and wait and wait until you get the answers that you need, or until something finally manifests or finally comes to pass. If you find yourself in this particular lifetime, Scorpio, you just kind of feel like you're constantly bombarded by energy, like people. You just feel like you can't have a moment's peace for whatever reason. That's a part of your lesson. That's a part of you needing to take charge and say, I need time for myself. Those are the moments where you feel bombarded, where you just feel like you just constantly have to be available to people. Those are that is the opportunity. That is your cue to say no and be, or just to limit that time and say, hey, I'm not available right now. I need time to myself. I'm sorry. Once I have my me time, I am available after that. That is a part of your lesson in this lifetime. Okay, that's a part of who you are. Some of you guys, there may be some Libra in your chart. Holding on to the past traumas and things like that is not going to win. That's not going to fall in your favor. If anything, that's going to hinder you. Accepting that challenges will always be a part of your life cycle is what also is going to work in your favor. You just not in the sense of like, oh, something's bad's going to happen and I just need to, not allowing your mind to rest in that. It's just accepting it and just realizing, okay, there's always going to be something that annoys me. I'm just going to move on. It is what it is. It is not, it's not, it's, finding a place of acceptance, finding that place of accepting that problems are always going to be present as much as the good things, right? Goodness is always going to be present as much as the problems. So continue to move forward. You guys are very strong. You guys are very capable. Just because challenges exist does not mean that love is absent in your life. Remember that. Um, but yeah, patience is silence also. Silence, patience. Because what I'm getting here, when you surround yourself with so many different energies in other people, it can cause you to become very disgruntled, a little bit bitter, a little bit annoyed, frustrated. You just kind of find yourself in a less peaceful space. So it's not really. There are some of us. There are some zodiac signs or some individuals. The way their astrology is set up, and the way the planets were aligned when they were born. That is their imprint. That is their blueprint, right? The way your blueprint is set up, the way you are structurally set up, Scorpio. For those of you who resonate with this message, and that's how your chart is set up, that's how you were structured and constructed. You are not meant to be everywhere and in everybody's face and everybody in your face and everybody talking to you and you talking to them. That's just not how you're set up. Even though you may try to set yourself up like that and you want to be there and you're trying to be, to me that's Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. That's um maybe even Aries. You know what I mean? That's that energy of, that's their energy. Okay? You let them do that. Unless you have Aquarius in your chart. Okay? If you have certain, again, not all Scorpios are set up the same, but and I'm specifically reading for sun, moon, rising signs, but it depends. If your chart is set up like that, um, then do that. Be everywhere all at once. Do your thing. Be a social butterfly. The Scorpios that I'm talking to about, in this particular situation, nah, that's just not for you. You're not meant to be available. That's just not the capacity that you work in. Okay. Even though, again, you may try to set things up like that and you want to be around friends, it's fine if you want to be around friends or family, but that is so necessary for you, Scorpio. For those of you who resonate with this, is so essential for you to say no, to say I am not available, to put your phone on do not disturb, or to turn your phone off, to say, hey, I'm not available on the weekends, at work, whatever. If you have a job, and again, if this is a job where you just can't really find a moment's peace, some of you, I don't know, there's just something here where somebody or some type of situation, you just cannot be alone. That's where you need to say no. No, I'm overwhelmed right now. This is a lot. I will give you my time when I finally have refilled my tank. Because some of y'all working on an empty tank, and that causes problems. Causes a lot of problems. So just be careful, Scorpio. Some of you guys may have had past occurrences where, in this life, or maybe in a past life, where you lost friends, you were left alone, you were betrayed by people that you thought were supposed to be there and they weren't, because you just needed time alone. You just needed time to process, and they left. And that's a wound that you carry with you, where you feel like, gotta be there or else they're gonna leave me. You may not think that consciously. That may not be something that you say out loud or something that you even think, right? But it's there. It's there. And honestly, Scorpio, if there are people who don't want to be there for you and they don't recognize that, hey, Scorpio needs a minute, let me just give them their time. If there are people who just don't respect you in that way and they feel like you constantly have to be available, you have to constantly do as they tell you to do, those are not your people. stay far away from them. So that way, when they don't want to talk to you anymore, it's not even a problem. It's not a problem. Maybe there are those of you, you need to have close relationships with an air sign, like friendships. Um, I'm getting strong Aquarius vibes for some of you, where you need to really connect with like a healthy Aquarius in your life, whether it be a family member, a friend. Okay, they might be able to help you on this journey for sure, or they, they'll help you understand like it's not that serious. Like you can love them, but you don't have to always be available. Um, hmm. I'm also getting earth signs too. So if there is an earth sign that can help you with this too, I'm getting like Capricorn energy. Um, yeah, I'm just getting all earth signs. So Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. I feel like they can definitely help you within that realm of healthy socializing, balanced social life. You'd be surprised, Scorpio, that when you spend a lot of time on your own, and I'm not saying that you have to be alone where you just go off grid. If that's something that you can do safely, and you're in a safe space, definitely do that. um but I'm not saying that you have to do that. If there are people that you feel safe connecting with or talking to while you're experiencing this solitude for yourself, definitely reach out to them. It's really important that you have people in your life, Scorpio, who are there to respect your needs. So if you have a friend or a family member or multiple friends or family members who just don't understand, they're just constantly disrespecting your boundaries. If you say, hey, I'm not really going to be answering phone calls, or I just need some time, and they're still calling you and blowing up your phone or sending you text messages and saying, like, I'm worried about you, blah, blah, they don't really respect your boundaries, right? If anything, they need to be available to you and say, hey, if you need anything, I'm right here, even if you don't talk to me all the time, right? So there are people in your life who they may be worried about you, but as long as you let them know, like, hey, I'm okay, I'm fine, and it's okay if I feel like if there's someone in your life who just checks in on you every once in a while and they're just like, I just want to make sure you're safe, and you say I'm good and they just leave you alone, then that's great. But if it's somebody who's constantly just knocking on your door, they won't leave you alone, they're just all up in your business, and they feel like, oh, you should answer me because I'm worried. No, you don't need to answer to anybody when they say you need to answer to them, Scorpio. So again, and then this is a part of your existence, this is a part of you thriving within your purpose. It's just being at peace and being patient with the process, being patient with yourself, not forcing anything to happen. You don't need to force anything. And if there's people that surround you that are constantly trying to force things, that might drain you a little bit. You know, it might drain you a little bit. Just be aware of that, okay? So your existence is definitely dependent on patience, okay? Healing your past, or just completely detaching yourself from unhealthy boundaries. If there's people who just don't respect your boundaries, those are not your people. To get what you want, Scorpio, means for you to just say what you want, to know what you want, to work towards what you want, not forcing what you want, attracting what you want, and just being patient with the process. You'd be surprised, Scorpio. If you play your cards right, you'll realize that your life is low maintenance. You don't need to do much of anything. You just focus on what you want, you work towards what you want, and that's it. Other people may see that and be jealous of it or be triggered by that, and they may try to weasel their way in and try to force you into anxiety, force you into, the sense of urgency. You may get random text messages or phone calls, or have like random family members, or maybe there's somebody that you just don't get along with, or they don't like you, and they just try to cause drama. Though they're causing drama because deep down inside in their souls, they don't like that you get what you want without really trying. There may be some people or a person in your life, for some of you, they're just really triggered by your magic because they still haven't found theirs, or they're just unaware of their magic. So in turn, their souls kind of try to distract you from your capabilities and your magic, and they just don't like that you some of you, you have somebody who's just like, they've been working so hard to put you down and to take away from you, and the fact that you still come out on top, they're really confused. They're really confused and they don't like it. They hate it. um uh Interesting. So yeah, there you have more patience, being gentle with yourself, being gentle with the process. You have the gentle gardener, card number 2. So card number 2. So number 2 could be a number for you, a lucky number. Number 1, because you have the bone collector at the bottom. Could be also number 3. Some of you guys may be a life path number 3, a life path number 1 or 2. Or those are numbers that you should write down and keep on your person. Those are numbers that you should work with. Okay. Some of you guys have children. I see eggs here. Springtime is such a beautiful time for you guys, Scorpios. So springtime is something that you should work with. The energy of spring. So whenever springtime comes around, or anytime during the year, you should be working on how to prepare yourself for the springtime so that the rest of the year is easy, like a breeze for you. During this springtime of 2025, it's very important that you work towards gently towards what you want, not with urgency and desperation and anxiety and fear. Work towards what you want softly, gently, you know, taking it day by day. That's the springtime is really going to bless you. Um, yeah, it's really going to bless you. And I think that there are just people that surround you who just really don't understand what you've been through. They don't understand who you are. They don't understand your powers. They don't understand your capabilities. And that's because they don't even understand their capabilities. Okay. You know, it's like you go to someone who has a dry garden, everything is dead, nothing has been watered, and they're coming to you telling you how to water your garden and take care of your garden. You might not want to take advice from those types of people. So if there's someone who's walking around as a dry desert and they're trying to tell you how to water your garden, don't listen to them. You go to someone who actually is a walking oasis, a walking garden, someone who is hydrated, someone who's, nurtured. Those are the people that you should take advice from. Okay? The leeches that are trying to suck you dry, those are not the people that you should hang around. The people who have gotten rid of the leeches in their life, those are your people. Those are your people, Scorpio. Those are your people. If you live in a household where you feel like you're doing everything and everybody else is just sitting down being lazy, procrastinating, not getting things done, okay, distance yourself a little bit, you know, pray for them for sure, but, distance yourself a little bit. All right, let's see. Scorpio, sun, moon, rising signs, for your purpose and why you exist. Understand that everything's coming full circle, you guys. Everything that you've been through has been documented. So therefore, you can always go back into your spiritual cabinet, right? Your spirit's apothecary. You can go back into your records, your spirit's records, and you can look back and see how far you've come. Nothing has been forgotten by your ancestors, by your spiritual team, by your protectors. Nothing has been forgotten. Everything that you've been through, for the good and the bad, have been documented, and they are being protected. So nothing of your spiritual journey has been forgotten. You may have people surrounding you who don't understand what you've been through, or they're not even paying attention to what you've been through in the past. You may have people who are very close to you who watched you struggle and still they don't understand what the hell is going on. They don't understand what you've been through, what you're dealing with mentally or emotionally. And you can tell them till, you don't have anything to explain to anybody. You don't need to explain what you've been through to anybody. People who are really paying attention to you and your personality and your energy, they'll understand. You don't you, this is not a life of desperation for you, Scorpio, even though it may feel like it at times. You may feel like like things are desperate and that you need to, scrape and dig and, just try to find your way out. But it's like, you don't need to do that. You don't need to live in desperation, Scorpio. Sometimes when we don't see water, we're in a dry desert. Sometimes we just need to pray for rain. We don't need to go looking for the water. It's just going to tire us out, right? By the time you find the water, you won't even be able to drink it right away because you're tired. But sometimes you just got to pray for rain. Sometimes prayer, asking for what you want, asking for what you need is all you need to do. You don't need to go searching, right? Work towards what you love, work towards those who love you, because those who love you are gonna work towards you, right? So your blessings are already there if you are surrounded by people who are willing to pour into you as much as you pour into them. So what's the point of going to look for anything? Literally, as I'm saying this, Scorpio, you got the arrow, and it says surround yourself with protective energy. Like I said, the people who you surround yourself with, the people who love and cherish you, are going to make sure you're okay. They're going to make sure you have what you need. You can find out very quickly who really loves you and who doesn't. It doesn't take that much time to find out who loves you. Be honest about what you want and what you need, and find out, look at how they respond. Even if they fight you on it or you have a disagreement about it, because, our egos, people's egos can be big. But if someone really loves you and they sit down and they really listen to you and they think about like how you're truly feeling, they will make sure they give you what you need and what you're asking for. Like, they're going to make sure you have what you need. You have medicine mother at the bottom of the deck. Honor your inner knowing. Scorpio, there's nothing that you need to do. You don't need to work so hard on, to dig and to scrape and to chase and to, to pursue. Literally, all you need to do is just sit with your spirit. You sit with what you know. That's all. You don't need to do any more than that. Right? And some of you guys, the example of desperation might be right in front of you. You might have some people in your life right now who are just desperate. Pay attention. Use that as an example of what not to be. Okay? I'm not trying to be mean, but like, sometimes you got to pay attention to the people in front of you. Just that's why being observant and patient, like sometimes it just means that you just need to observe. Look at the people in your life who are healthy, who are happy. What are they doing? Truly happy. Like, what are they doing in their lives? Are they constantly bothering you, bothering people, or are they just, they're just like, hey, I'm here and that's it. I'm here if you need me. If you have a significant other that demands a lot of you, but they're not really willing to live up to those demands themselves, think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Maybe your partner needs a reality check. If you're in a romantic partnerships is not about how much you can do for the other person. It's about how much more of yourself you can become. Relationships are the opportunity to be more of yourself, and whether those people are going to embrace that or not. If you can be 100% yourself in a relationship and people embrace it and they're being more of themselves, and that is the jackpot, in my opinion. That is a jackpot. Okay. All right, one last card, you guys. One last card moving forward. One last card. Oops. For Scorpio. Aw. You got love, wanted to fly out. I love that. Yeah. Surround yourself with love. Open your heart chakra. That's beautiful. Giving and receiving. Giving and receiving. Be careful what you're giving out. Make sure you're giving it, make sure you're selective of what you give, Scorpio, but also be careful of what you're receiving, because some people may be giving you breadcrumbs and saying, oh, that's all I got. Well, throw it away. Like, throw it away, Scorpio. Like, if somebody can just bring you crumbs and that's all they've been giving you, when you know that they are capable of giving you more, it's one thing for someone to just be a little bit weak in their life and they're lacking and they just need a lot of help. That's different. You know, some people, they just need help. But there are people who are definitely capable of giving you more and they just choose not to. Okay? Be careful of that. So be very selective with your generosity, Scorpio, on your soul's journey. Be patient, be observant, be a silent force. Don't live in desperation. Don't speak from a desperate frequency. You live with grace and dignity and power. What you want will be given to you if you ask and if you just focus on what you want. That's what you will be compensated with. What you focus on is what you're going to be compensated from. So if you are focused and working towards a lacking lifestyle, you're working towards lack, you're working towards desperation or from desperation, you're focused on a fear-based process, fear-based achievement, then you're going to be compensated with more fear and desperation and lack. So just change your frequency. That's all you got to do. Just change the frequency, you know? Turn the dial a little bit. It's going to, you know, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Okay? Happiness is our birthright. I always say that and I live by that. Okay? Yes, just remember that, Scorpio. Okay? All right. Much love and light to all of you. I wish you guys the very best of luck on this journey. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope to see you guys in your next reading. Bye, Scorpio.